The quickest way of doing it is to go to request and prescribe and add, and you can then just go for the sepsis power plan.
Okay. Just having sepsis.
And if you look at the sepsis power plan, it is amazing because it's got access to microguide immediately.
Okay.
It's got the oxygen power plan in it. It's got all of the antibiotics that you might want to prescribe to anybody ever.
Okay.
And if you scroll up, you'll see also the bloods that you need. And I think there's even some fluids. I mean, power plans are amazing.
Yeah.
They're absolutely amazing. It's such a, you know, it really makes some of the jobs much easier. So go to microguide.
That's so good. Yeah.
I love power plans. I mean, it kind of makes up for all the other nonsense because they are just great. Right, so here we go. So adult microguide there. And the easiest way to negotiate it is to just go for body systems.
All right.
Because you know it's going to be respiratory.
Yeah.
And you know he's got sepsis, so it's the lowest one. There we go. And then have a look. So blood cultures, further investigations for atypical pneumonia, modified treatment if there's sensitivities, 3 to 5 days, lasting review. And in this trust they review it. The system makes you review every 24 hours anyway. Coamoxiclav IV 1.2 grams and clarithromycin 500 milligrams per os BD.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, come on. Yeah. And then you'll find your coamoxiclav and you find your clarithromycin and your gentamicin, because you know you've got to prescribe that as well because you've been given the instructions.
Gentamicin. Okay.
Be careful of the clary because that's the IV one.
Oh, wrong one.
And yeah, so you want to give them the oral one.
Okay.
So meticulous attention to detail.
Yeah.
Right, and if you wanted to, you might as well do the oxygen as well, because it's part of the later kind of stuff to do. It's there.
Oh, it's all one patient. I get it. It's all connected.
Oh,
Smart, isn't it?
makes sense.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
sepsis 6. Ah, you.
Very well thought out.
That is clever.
Yes. Okay, honest for signature. It's just because it was simple. I mean, with it, all the changes, in fact, one of the initial ones gave you a SATs of 91 or whatever. You haven't got that information anymore because everything, you know, we've kind of changed things about. But in real life, the saturation should actually record from observations.
Clever.
So just make it 90 or whatever. And then the oxygen power plan is an interesting little beast because it makes no sense. But you have to remember that oxygen is a drug, needs to be prescribed.
Okay.
And if you prescribe it, the nursing staff can do the titration that you do on that patient.
Right.
If it's not prescribed, they're not allowed, unless they're in specialist areas, to actually even put nasal cannula on the patient.
Okay.
They can do it with a verbal instruction, but you have to prescribe oxygen. So this is really just an oxygen prescription so that you empower the nursing staff to do what they need to do. Because it makes no bloody sense. You have to pick one, you know what I mean? Alright, he's not CO2, we know that. And he's normal, so it's 94 to 98. And I just go for simple baskets at the top. And that leaves you with whatever, 6 to 8, 5 to 8 litres is good. And then you can go for whatever you want. So do you see what I mean? It's because what happens now is this goes onto the interactive view, onto the track and trigger of the kind of view scoring. It's supposed to do that, and then it can be adjusted according to that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Again, a tick in the corner. And then you go for the rest of it. So now you've got coamoxiclav to prescribe, which have a go. So go for your missing required, and actually, because you've chosen one you've got a few boxes to fill in.
Okay.
That was 3
3 days. So just 3 then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't allow you more. And he hasn't got culture, so he's probable of hospital, isn't it? go. Good. Now, gentamicin, if you want to, you can use a calculator.
Is that?
Yeah.
So
And then you can just put 3 milligrams per kilo.
Okay.
And it works it out for you, and you can apply the dose.
Oh, great. Will we be expected to draw up the exact dose we calculated, or will it be going through the
So even in clinical medicine, it's there. It's written down for you there. Just sort of the gentamicin thing on the side of the phlebotomy. I might make it bigger for the day, but I don't want to. Yeah, okay. It is there.
Okay.
So you know that you've got your ampules are 80 milligrams per mil.
Okay.
That's what we've told you.
Yeah.
It's not true in life, but that's what we've told you. And then you work out from there.
Okay.
So he needs, now they've put a weight in of 70, which is naughty. This is 70.6, but so he needs 210 milligrams, which is told you it's going to give you 210.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you've got 18 milligrams per mil in a 2 molar, so that's not quite enough. So you need another 0.6 of a mil to make it 210. So you draw up in a 5 mil syringe. 2 mil syringe is too small. You
Yeah.
can't. In a 5 mil, because you always use the right kind of volume syringe. There's no point in putting 2.6 mils in a 20 mil syringe. So try and find the syringe that's appropriate. So yes, you do have to do basic calculations sometimes with this kind of thing. So yeah, so there we go. Happy?
So it's 2.6.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, the same. And then you might as well finish the clarithromycin as well. Otherwise it moans.
How long was that?
Or
for?
you could just go to, where do you go? And just delete it.
You can finish it,
Just
right? How long do you want to give it for? 3 days?
Yeah, it's the same.
But we don't, I'm not being silly, we don't prepare the clarithromycin, do we?
no.
Oh, because there's a
It's
tablet.
all
I'm
Don't
beginning to
sign.
panic.
Don't sign for it either, because he hasn't got a mouth. Right, don't forget to refresh.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Fine. You're basically ready to step away to go and go and draw up your drugs. Just one more kind of empowerment thingy
Yeah.
is monographs.
Okay.
So, for the purposes of the exam, we've printed monographs out for you, not because we wanted to, but because the access to the monographs has been blocked because the trust hasn't paid.
Yeah, I tried and it couldn't. Yeah.
But it will be there in real life. And if you ever have to draw up and give anything, for God's sakes, look at the monographs. They are amazing.
Okay.
You can't find that information in BNF or anywhere else. It just doesn't give you the detail of the
Okay.
monographs. Happy with the monographs?
What is a monograph?
Yeah, I was going to say.
So they look, actually let's find them and I'll show you. The problem is that I can only find the local ones, but what I've printed out for you is the gentamicin and coamoxiclav ones, which are like that. So
Okay.
it shows you.
You stuff.
I cried when I printed these out because I wanted it to kind of, you know,
Yeah.
but anyway. So do you see already?
Yeah.